And welcome back, everybody, to the final afternoon Sunday here as we clue up the final two events as we get ready to determine our Summer Club champions for 2023. We're getting ready now for Event 61, girls a 9-10 50-meter breaststroke. And in lane 1 is Avery Parsons of the Grand Falls Windsor Gators. In lane 2 is Emma Pitcher of the Gators. In lane 3 is Beth Bartlett of the Sea Lions. Lane 4 is Lila Rousel of the Bluefins. Lane 5 is Priya Delaney of the Sea Lions. And in lane 6 is Alice McKenna-Smith of the Bluefins. Lane 1 is on your left. Lane 6 is on your right. 2 laps to determine who is the reigning champion, or future champion, I guess, of the 50-meter breaststroke in the girls 9-10. I'd like to give a shout out to Joey for taking over the reins there a little bit this morning and doing the breaststroke preliminaries. All timers and judges are ready to go. A lot of swimmers up here looking out the glass, cheering on their teammates once again. You're seeing all the swimmers along the sidelines, the ones that are getting ready for their next races, cheering on their teammates as well. And again, I'll preach that I think we as an organization have to find some way to get these kids back out on the deck, cheering on their teammates, as the encouragement, the adrenaline that it provides these kids is what a lot of these kids need. And I relate a story back to when my daughter started at 6 years old and was crying on the blocks, who didn't want to jump, and it was the older swimmers that encouraged her. It's a big part of this. But anyway, here we go. Girls 9-10 50-meter breaststroke final, and we are in the water. And it looks like it is Beth Bartlett flying up the pool here in lane number 3. And now it's a battle for second place right now between Emma Pitcher, Lila Rousel, and Priya Delaney. It's Beth Bartlett going to touch the wall first. She touches the wall, heads back. It looks like in second place it's between Emma Pitcher and Lila Rousel. Right there is Priya Delaney as well. Followed along by Avery Parsons and Alice McKenna-Smith. But it's Beth Bartlett here who's having a fantastic swim. It looks like it is lane number 4. Lila Rousel has taken second place, and Priya Delaney has come in now. It looks like she's moved into third. But this is Beth Bartlett here all the way, and it's going to be Beth Bartlett touching the wall first, followed by Lila Rousel, and Priya Delaney finishes third. Right there is Emma Pitcher, followed by Alice McKenna-Smith and Avery Parsons. Now we're going to move on to Event 62, boys 9-10 50-meter breaststroke final. In lane number 1 is Carter Chapman of the Bluefins. In lane number 2 is Nicholas Dawson of the Sea Lions. Lane 3 is Rogan Duty of the Sea Lions. Lane number 4 is Mason Ackerman of the Sea Lions. Lane number 5 is Joel Seymour of the Sea Lions. And in lane number 6 is Owen Pinkston of the Bluefins. And we have a provincial record setter in this heat, as Rogan Duty apparently broke the record set by Paul Traverse way back in 1975, as Rogan Duty has a preliminary time of 50.16. Their previous record was 50.54. Way to go, Rogan. Almost broke a 50-year-old record. And right there in lane number 4 is Mason Ackerman with a time of 52.43, so he's knocking on the door as well. So this should be a great race. But Rogan Duty of the Bay Roberts Sea Lions looks to be the new provincial record holder in the boys 9-10 50-meter. And here we go. They're in the water. And it is a Rogan Duty, Mason Ackerman taking control, but it's Rogan Duty has moved ahead here now. It's Mason Ackerman. Nicholas Dawson is right there as well in third. Carter Chapman keeping up as well, followed by Joel Seymour and Owen Pinkston. But it's Rogan Duty touching the wall, slightly ahead of Mason Ackerman. Right behind him is Nicholas Dawson. And it's Rogan Duty in first, Mason Ackerman in second. Nicholas Dawson is battling it out with Carter Chapman for third place. Right behind them is Carter Chapman. There's Joel Seymour and Owen Pinkston. But now it is Mason Ackerman and Rogan Duty. Mason Ackerman. This is going to be a photo finish. It looks like Mason may have just edged out Rogan Duty to take first. And it looks like it's going to be Nicholas Dawson touching the wall ahead of Carter Chapman. And we have a 1-2-3 here at Sea Lions. As it looks like it was Mason Ackerman edged out Rogan Duty, followed by Nicholas Dawson. Lean sweep for the Bay Roberts Sea Lions in the 50-meter back breaststroke. Now we move on to event 63, girls 11-12 50-meter breaststroke. In lane 1 is Leah Butler of the Wave Runners. Lane 2 is Abigail Wiseman of the Marlins. Lane 3 is Carolyn Wells of the Bluefins. Lane 4 is Kaylee Osmond of the Bluefins. Lane 5 is Maya Osmond of the Wave Runners. And in lane 6 is Carly Chapman of the Bluefins. The record for this swim was set back in 1997 by Ashley Drover at a time of 39:72. Our fastest sea time heading in is 48:57, set by Carolyn Wells. Well, Mason Ackerman just go to show seed times is just to get you into the final. You'll make the top 6. Anything can happen in the championship race. And it'll look like Mason just edged out Rogan Duty, who happened to set a provincial record at his preliminary swim. It's going to be very interesting to see Mason's time. And we have a clean start, and it looks like it is lane number 2 of Abigail Wiseman has taken the lead here ahead of Carolyn Wells. And it also looks like it's lane 1 of Leah Butler. But it's Abigail Wiseman going to touch the wall first, followed behind by Carolyn Wells. Right behind her is Kaylee Osmond, Leah Butler. And you can hear the excitement up here, folks, as everybody's cheering on their teammates. But right now, it's Abigail Wiseman in first place. Carolyn Wells is in second. Carolyn is putting on a push. Is Carolyn going to catch her? It looks like Carolyn may have both surpassed Abigail Wiseman, and it's Carolyn Wells touches the wall first. It looks like Kaylee Osmond just edged out Abigail Wiseman for second, actually. So it looks like it's Bluefin Maryland final here. And as you can start to tell, my voice is starting to get a little raspy after all weekend. Now we're moving on to event 64, boys 11-12 50-meter breaststroke. In lane number 1 is Miguel Devignon of the Piranhas. Lane 2 is Neil Hardy of the Sea Lions. Lane 3 is Preston Sims of the Sea Lions. Lane 4 is Liam Pinkston of the Bluefins. Lane 5 is Caleb Whalen of the Bluefins. And lane number 6 is Griffin Mercer of the Bay Roberts Sea Lions. The record here was set back in 1992 by Michael Hogan at a time of 40.41. Our fastest seed time heading in is Preston Sims at a time of 49:25. Lots of excitement up here for these final races. And that will only build more as we get to the medley relay in the next one. And here we go. It's a clean start, and it looks like it is Preston Sims in the lead, followed right behind by Neil Hardy. And it's Preston Sims and Neil Hardy here right now, 1-2. With Liam Pinkston and Caleb Whalen right behind here now, followed by Miguel Devignon, Caleb Whalen, and Griffin Mercer. But it is Neil Hardy and Preston Sims here battling it out for first. And it looks like Neil Hardy might have a slight edge right now on Preston Sims, with about 15 meters to go. But it's extremely close, and look at Liam Pinkston coming up the pool as well. But it's Neil Hardy. Can Neil Hardy hold off Sims? And it looks like it's Neil Hardy, followed by Preston Sims and Liam Pinkston. Followed by Caleb Whalen, Miguel Davignon, and Griffin Mercer. And it looks like Griffin's glasses came down, which is always a struggle. Now we move on to event 65, girls 13-14, 50-meter breaststroke. In lane number 1 is Jordan Dobson of the Gators. Lane 2 is Jayla Harris of the Bluefins. Lane 3 is Hannah Dawson of the Sea Lions. Lane 4 is Ella Ackerman of the Sea Lions. Lane 5 is Cadence Culpepper of the Bluefins. And in lane 6 is Charlotte Bombas of the Gators. The record for this swim was set back in 1999 by Ashley Drover at a time of 38:01. Fastest seed time heading in is Hannah Dawson at a time of 42:72. Oh, a little bit of a hesitation, so the swimmers will have to step down off the block and stand up and get reset again. Here we go. Girls 13-14 50-meter breaststroke championship race. And up out of the water, it is a very tight race now between Hannah Dawson and Ella Ackerman and Jayla Harris. And it's Hannah Dawson going to touch the wall first. Right behind her is Jayla Harris and Ella Ackerman. And it's Hannah Dawson now who has the lead at the turn. And it looks like Ella Ackerman has moved into second place. And that's followed right behind her by Jayla Harris. And Cadence Culpepper is right there as well for third. But it looks like it's Hannah Dawson cruising to the wall for a first place finish, followed right behind by Ella Ackerman. And it looks like it's going to be very close between, and I'd have to give it to Charlotte Bombas, who just edged out Jayla Harris, and Cadence Culpepper with Jordan Dobson are right behind them as well. Now we move on to event 66, boys 13-14, 50-meter breaststroke. In lane number 1 is Ben Parson of the Sea Lions. Lane 2 is Nigel Powell of the Gators. Lane 3 is Ashton Hurley of the Sea Lions. Lane 4 is Michael Hiscock of the Wave Runners. Lane 5 is John Lynch of the Wave Runners. And in lane 6 is Ethan Pitcher of the Grand Falls Windsor Gators. The record here was set back in 2016 by Noah Bruce at a time of 36:57. Our fastest seed time heading in is Ashton Hurley of the Sea Lions at a time of 41:25.
It's okay if I got last.
Here we go. Swimmers are on the deck. And we have a clean start. And it looks like it is Ashton Hurley out of the water first. And Michael Hiscock is right there with him. But it's Ashton Hurley who has the slightest of leads now over Nigel Powell and Michael Hiscock. And he touches the wall first. Slowly right behind him is Michael Powell and Michael Hiscock. So it's Ashton Hurley in first place. Michael Hiscock is right on his tail. Can Ashton hold him off? Michael is putting on a push. Ashton looks like he has it, and it's Ashton with that strong push at the end. Edges out, I believe, Michael Hiscock. It was extremely close. As Michael Hiscock finishes second, Nigel Powell third, followed by John Lynch, Ethan Pitcher, and Ben Parsons. Now we move on to the girls, 15-16, 100-meter breaststroke. This is 4 laps. In lane number 1 is Sarah Campbell of the Gators. In lane number 2 is Caitlin Morgan of the Bluefins. Lane number 3 is Hannah Chapman of the Bluefins. Lane 4 is Jocelyn Coates of the Wave Runners. Lane 5 is Bridget Bishop of the Sea Lions. And in lane number 6 is Kaylee Tucker of the Dolphins. The record here is set in 2001 by Ashley Drover with a time of 1:26:37. Fastest seed time heading in is Hannah Chapman at a time of 1:40:88. Again, 4 laps of the pool to see who is the provincial champion of the girls' 15-16 breaststroke. And they're in the water, and we have a clean start. And right now we have all 6 swimmers pretty much right together. It looks like it is lane number 1 of Sarah Campbell, who may have taken out the early lead here in lap number 1, followed behind by Hannah Chapman, Bridget Bishop, Jocelyn Coates, Katie Morgan. They're all right there right now, as there's nobody who separated themselves from the field. And it looks like now Bridget Bishop may have taken the lead in lane number 5 from the Sea Lions. And it's Bridget Bishop going to touch the wall first after 50 meters. Followed shortly behind her is Hannah Chapman, Caitlin Morgan, Jocelyn Coates. Now we're into the 75-meter mark, and it looks like Hannah Chapman now is putting on a bit of a push. And it may be her who's surpassed Bridget Bishop slightly. But again, we have 5 of these swimmers who are neck and neck right now, as there's nobody has separated themselves from the field. And as Hannah Chapman touches the wall first right now, followed by Jocelyn Coates, Sarah Campbell, Bridget Bishop. Now we're down to the final 25 meters here. Here's where it counts, and it's Hannah Chapman putting it on strong here now. Bridget Bishop is doing her best to try to stay in this as well. But it's Hannah Chapman, Caitlin Morgan. Hannah Chapman, Caitlin Morgan is going to finish first, second. Who's going to be between third? And it looks like it may be lane number 2 of Caitlin Morgan may have just edged out Bridget Bishop for third place. But it was Hannah Chapman, Jocelyn Coates, Caitlin Morgan. Now we move on to event 68, boys 15-16, 100-meter breaststroke. In lane number 1 is Ryan Sims of the Bay Robber Sea Lions. Lane 2 is Wesley Carter of the Gators. Lane 3 is Cameron Saunders of the Bluefins. Lane 4 is Noah Dawson of the Sea Lions. Lane 5 is Jack Hardy of the Sea Lions. And in lane number 6 is Ben Lunscombe of the Gators. The record for this was set back in 2000 by Justin Dyke at a time of 1:19:21. Our fastest seed time is Cameron Saunders with a time of 1:29:84. Here we go, 4 laps. Boys 15-16, 100-meter breaststroke. Looks like a clean start here. And out of the water, and they all start taking their strokes. It is lanes 1, 2, 3, and 4 right there in the mix right now. Lanes 5 and 6 not too far behind, but it looks like it's going to be lane number 4 of Noah Dawson and Cameron Saunders touching the wall first, shortly very behind by Wesley Carter and Ryan Sims. But it is Noah Dawson now, it looks like, who might have a slight edge over Cameron Saunders, with Wesley Carter and Ryan Sims battling it out now for third. But right behind them is Jack Hardy and Ben Lunscombe, and it's Noah Dawson and Cameron Saunders are neck and neck here at the 70 as they move into the 75 meters. Looks like we have 3 separate races here right now, as each group are standing next to each other. But it is Cameron now who's taking the lead a little over Noah, and it looks like now as Wesley Carter has moved slightly ahead of Ryan Sims. And it's Jack Hardy fighting off Ben Lunscombe. But here we are. We're down to the final 25 meters between Cameron Saunders and Noah Dawson. It's Cameron Saunders who has the lead right now. But Noah is pushing hard to try to catch up. And he is gaining ground. Does he have enough space to do it? Noah is pushing hard. Cameron is hanging on. And it looks like it's Cameron who's just going to edge out Noah Dawson for first place. And in third place now, it'll touch the wall, will be Wesley Carter, followed by Ryan Sims, Jack Hardy, and Ben Lunscombe. But what a fantastic race. And I think if there was another 5 meters onto this swim, Noah Dawson would have caught him that time. But there isn't. Now we move on to event 69, girls 17, 1800 meter breaststroke. In lane number 1 is Gabrielle Haas out of Bluefins. Lane 2 is Chelsea Keogh out of Bluefins. Lane number 3 is Claire Bombas at the Gators. Lane 4 is Jessica Mercer at the Sea Lions. Lane 5 is Sienna Chapman at the Bluefins. And in lane number 6 is Regan Strang at the Marylands. The record here is set by, you guessed it, Ashley Drover back in 2003 with a time of 1:22:23. Our fastest seed time going in is Claire Bombas at a time of 1:35:47. Second last breaststroke race of the day before we move on to the very exciting medley relays, where provincial championships have been won and lost. Here we go. 4 laps. 100 meters. 17-18 girls breaststroke final. Up out of the water right now, it looks like it's lanes 2 and 3 who have taken a slight lead, and it looks like it is Claire Bombas and Chelsea Keogh, with Gabrielle Haas and Jessica Mercer right there as well, followed behind by Sienna Chapman and Regan Strang. But right now, it is Claire Bombas who has the lead, and it's a battle now of second between Chelsea Keogh, Gabrielle Haas, and Jessica Mercer. But Claire Bombas is going to touch the wall first at the 50-meter mark. Now it's a battle for second between Jessica Mercer and Chelsea Keogh, and it looks like Jessica is going to touch the wall first, moving into the 75-meter mark here now. And it's Claire Bombas, followed shortly behind by Jessica Mercer, Chelsea Keogh, Gabriella Haas, Regan Strang, and Sienna Chapman. But Claire Bombas is taking control of this race now. And as Claire Bombas touching the wall first, it looks like it's Chelsea Keogh now who's overtaken Jessica. But they are neck and neck. It's Claire Bombas. She better improve her stroke, because right now it's Jessica and Chelsea who are battling it out, who are going to gain speed on her. And I think Claire realized that, and she started pushing ahead again. She takes control to maintain first, but now it's a battle for second as it's between Chelsea Keogh and Jessica Mercer, and it looks like it's going to be Jessica who may have just edged out Chelsea Keogh, followed shortly behind by Sienna Chapman, Regan Strang, and Gabriella Haas. Now we move on to the last event, breaststroke final, before we move on to the medley relay. It's the boys 17-18 100-meter breaststroke. In lane number 2 is Spencer Lilly at the Bluefins. In lane number 3 is Mika Groth at the Bluefins. And in lane number 4 is Adam Dawson at the Sea Lions. The record here is set back in 2008 by Neil Morrow at a time of 1:16:01. Our fastest seed time heading in is Mika Groth at a time of 1:26:22. Here we go, 4 laps. And Micah Falney comes up out of the water to emerge into lead. And he touches the wall first ahead of Adam Dawson and Spencer Lilly. It's Mika Groth right now in first place. Adam Dawson is pushing as hard as he can. And Adam is starting to gain ground, and it looks like Adam is neck and neck now with Mika Groth with Lily Spencer in third place, and they both pretty much touched the wall at the same time. Now we're moving into the 75-meter mark. Mika again, who's emerged to lead with his strong push off the wall. And Adam has to work to try to catch up to him again. And it's Groth at the 75-meter mark going to touch the wall ahead of Adam Dawson and Lily Spencer, or Spencer Lilly. But here we go. We're down to the final 25 meters. Can Adam Dawson gain the ground back up on Mika Groth? He's trying hard, but Groth knows this is the final 25 meters. This is where you put on that final push. And he has such a powerful stroke, and here he is. Touches the wall first ahead of Adam Dawson, who's second. And Spencer Lilly will finish in third place in the boys 17-18 100-meter breaststroke. Now, here we go. Let's get ready for some activity upstairs and screaming and shouting and teams cheering on, as this is many times determines who's the provincial champion winner. Is your victories and losses in the medley relay. And again, congratulations to all swimmers. Great success this weekend to see everybody in the pool, trying their best, cheering their teammates on, representing their team colors. And on behalf of all the swimmers, certainly want to say they want to wish a thank you to all the moms and dads and nans and pops and aunts and uncles and brothers and sisters who are out here supporting them and cheering them on. But here we go. We have the girls 10 and under medley relay. In lane 1 is the Bay Roberts Sea Lions. Lane 2 is the Bluefins. Lane 3 is the Wave Runners. Lane 4 is the Piranhas. And lane 5 is the Gators. Start off with the back. Move to the butterfly, then the breast. Then the free. And here we go. We are off. And it looks like it is lanes 1, 2, and 3 right now. And lanes 1 is the Sea Lions, 2 is the Bluefins, 3 is the Wave Runners. And it looks like now it's been separated a little bit as the Bluefins and the Sea Lions have moved into a slight lead here. And it's the Sea Lions who have touched the wall first. Ava Andrews, she's turning around, and it's Bluefins Silver Stuckless keeping up with her stroke for stroke here right now, as this is going to be a close one. The Clarenville Wave Runners are right there as well, along with the Piranhas, followed behind by the Grand Falls Windsor Gators. Right now, it looks like it's the Sea Lions and Bluefins who are going to touch the wall first, as Beth Bartlett gets ready. And she's in the pool. Bluefin in the pool. Here we go. Breaststroke. Followed behind next by the Grand Falls Windsor Gators are in the pool in third place. Right behind them is lane number 3 of the Wave Runners, followed by the Piranhas. But now it's Beth Bartlett who's gained some distance between her and the Bluefin. And it's Beth Bartlett coming back up the pool just as Lila Rousel touches. And now it looks like it's the Grand Falls Gators still in third place, followed behind by the Wave Runners and the Piranhas. The coaches are encouraging Beth on to get to the wall, as Ava Parsons eagerly awaits to dive in to do the butterfly. And here we go. There's Ava Parsons, a provincial record holder in a number of swims this weekend. And it's the Bluefin who touches the wall next. Very close behind now are the Gators, though. The Gators are in the water. And it's Ava Parsons who's created a lot of separation between the Sea Lions and the Bluefins right now. As Jessa Moss is just getting to the wall now as Ava Parsons is halfway back up the pool. And it's Ava Parsons getting ready to touch the wall as Bria Delaney waits anxiously for the freestyle. And it's Bria Delaney in the water. And now it's the Bluefin working their way up to the wall. But this is a Sea Lions race all the way here. Now it's going to be a battle for second as the Bluefin and the Gators are pushing each other hard. And it's Bria Delaney who's going to cruise to the finish line here and take first place in the girls' 200-meter medley relay. Great swim by four very strong swimmers. And it looks like it's going to be the Bluefins who are going to finish second as the Gators are pushing hard. As we have the Wave Runners and the Dolphins just getting ready now to enter into the water for their freestyle. But again, it's very important to finish, as we've seen DQ after DQ for various reasons here. And it's the Bluefin who touches the wall slightly ahead of the Gator, who made a fantastic push in the final 25 meters. And it is the Wave Runners. We are having a great swim by Mayfield here of the Piranhas. Doing an outstanding job here. And we hear the whole deck cheering her on. This is what it's all about right here. All hands are clapping down on the deck. Cheering on Mayfield. Again, what I miss so much about the provincials is having all these kids on the deck. And what a job by Mayfield. As everybody on the deck is clapping loud and everybody upstairs are clapping. Now we move on to boys 10 and under, 200-meter medley relay. In lane number 1 is the Bay Roberts Sea Lions. Lane number 3 is the Wave Runners, and in lane 4 is the Bluefins. Sea Lions made up of Blake Noseworthy, Mason Ackerman, Rogan Duty, and Nicholas Dawson. Wave Runners made up of Carson Vokey, Gage Butler, Nicholas Dean, and Reggie Fewer, and the Bluefins made up of Ethan Carter, Carter Chapman, Benjamin Pelly, and Lincoln Budgell. Oh, and it looks like we only have 2 teams swimming here today. It looks like it is the Sea Lions and the Bluefins. Here we go, and it is Blake Noseworthy with the lead right now over Ethan Carter of the Bluefins. And Blake Noseworthy is flying up the pool here. What an outstanding 25 meters he's had so far. He touches the wall, turns around. The coaches are strongly encouraging him. He is having one great swim here. Give the Bay Roberts Sea Lions a bit of a cushion here as we move into the second part of this 200-meter medley relay with Mason Ackerman. There's no quitting those Bluefins as they gain ground. This Mason Ackerman now into the water as he swims the breast. Followed behind now by Carter Chapman of the Bluefins. But it is Mason Ackerman who has gained the sea line some more ground here as he touches the wall. Mason Ackerman heading back up the pool. And provincial record holder Rogan Duty, newly crowned record holder this year, anxiously awaits on the diving block to do the butterfly. He touches. He's in the pool. Here goes Rogan. We see the Bluefin encouraging his fellow partner to get up. He touches the wall. And there's the Bluefin in the water for the butterfly. Rogan Duty here right now. Complete dominance by the Bay Roberts Sea Lions in this race. But again, anything could happen. We've seen a number of DQs for various reasons. And the Bluefin has made up some significant ground. There's a lot of ground to make up. But it's Rogan Duty pushing forward here. But it is Benjamin Pelly who has made up some ground here, but it was a tremendous lead by the Sea Lions that may be just insurmountable for the Bluefins to catch up to. Now it is Nicholas Dawson in on the freestyle. Well, Lincoln Budgell is going to get everything he has in the last 50 meters here. Close what gap he can. And he is working hard, and he is flying up the pool, and he is gaining ground on Nicholas Dawson. It's Nicholas makes the turn. But Lincoln Budgell has made up significant ground. Now, who has the most gas in the last 25 meters here? It's Nicholas Dawson trying to hang on to the lead. But it's Lincoln Budgell who's putting on a severe push here right now. And Dawson is getting tired. Budgell is pushing, but it's Nicholas Dawson who touches the wall. But what a comeback by the Bluefins to even make this a race. Now we move on to Event 73, Girls 11-12, 200-meter medley relay. In lane number 2 is the Gators. Lane number 3 is the Wave Runners. Lane 4 is the Bluefins. And in lane number 5 is the Sea Lions. Sea Lions made up of Peyton Barrett, Haven McHugh, Shauna Rowe, Ava Martin. Bluefins, Carolyn Wells, Kaylee Osmond, Carly Chapman, Kaylee Blanchard. Wave Runners, Leah Butler, Maya Osmond, Addison Wells, Sarah Coates, and the Gators of Kinsley Williams, Reese Power, Ava Langdon, and Rebecca Hamilton. Here we go. We have a clean start. And it looks like it is Sea Lions in lane number 5 who have jumped out to an early lead here. Just ahead of the Bluefins who are in lane number 4. Followed very behind by them is the Gators and the Wave Runners. But it is Peyton Barrett now who has taken the lead for the Sea Lions after the first 25. Right on their tails, though, is Carolyn Wells of the Bluefins. Kinsley Williams of the Gators and Leah Butler. But it is Peyton Barrett now, trying to create some separation and give the Sea Lions a bit of a cushion as they move into the next 3 laps. And it's Peyton Barrett going to touch the wall as Haven McHugh waits eagerly on the diving block. She's in the water. On to her breaststroke. And then it is the Bluefins, Carly Chapman, followed right behind them by the Grand Falls Windsor Gators of Carice Power. But it is right now Haven McHugh keeping the lead for the Sea Lions as she touches the wall first, slightly ahead of Kaylee Osmond of the Bluefins. But now we have a race for third between the Gators and the Wave Runners. And it looks like the Wave Runners have just surpassed the Gators to move into third place here. But it's Haven McHugh pushing forward here, trying to maintain her lead on the Bluefins. And it's Haven McHugh who touches the wall as Shauna Rowe eagerly awaits, and Shauna's in the water. Right behind her is Addison Wells of the Bluefins. Sorry, not of the Bluefins. It's Carly Chapman of the Bluefins. And Carly is gaining ground and putting the Bluefins right back in this race now. And now it looks like Carly may have overtaken the Sea Lion. Shauna Rowe for first. But as Shauna Rowe is on the turn, is turned around again, and now they are stroke for stroke here, heading down the pool as the final two swimmers await. As it looks like the Wave Runners have moved into third ahead of the Gators. But right now it looks like it's the Bluefins who have a slight lead over the Sea Lions as we move into the final two swimmers of Ava Martin and Kelly Blanchard. And Ava Martin is in the pool. So is Kelly Blanchard. It looks like the Bluefins have gained a little bit of a lead here now. Ava Martin got some work to do. And it's Kelly Blanchard pushing the Bluefins up the pool, but it's Ava Martin who is right on her tail right now. How strong of a push did she get off the wall? Who has one left in the tank? It is Kelly Blanchard. It is Ava Martin. Ava Martin is gaining ground. There is 5 to 6 meters left here, and it's going to be Ava Martin who overtakes Kelly Blanchard in the last 4 meters of this race to take first place. What an unbelievable final 5 meters for Ava Martin, who turned on the jets as it looked like they were down and out with about 25 meters to go. And it's the Wave Runners who finished third. Okay, now we move on to Event 74, Boys 11-12, 200-meter medley relay. In lane 2 is the Bluefins. In lane 3 is the Wave Runners. And in lane 4 is the Bay Roberts Sea Lions. Sea Lions represented by Jacob Efford, Neil Hardy, Hudson Pilgrim, and Preston Sims. Lane 3, the Wave Runners, is made up of Carson Vokey, Alex London, Hayden Vokey, and Luke Evans. And the Bluefins made up of Hayden Carter, Liam Preston, Pinkston Story, Caleb Whalen, and Gavin Bennett. Here we go, Bluefin, Wave Runner, and Sea Lions. And it is Jacob Efford with a very strong jump off the wall. He's moved into first place here, slightly ahead of the Bluefins of Hayden Carter. And it's Jacob Efford here is going to touch the wall first. There you go, he touches the wall, turns around, goes back. And it's Jacob Efford building up a lead for the Sea Lions here. But as you can see in any of these races, no lead is safe. Here we go, is Jacob Efford with a good lead now over second place Bluefin, followed by the Clarenville Wave Runners as Jacob touches the wall first. Into the pool next is Neil Hardy, who has a very strong breaststroke as well. And it's Neil Hardy now really expanding the lead here for the Sea Lions. As the Bluefins touch the wall, they're into the water. And it is for the Bluefins, Liam Pinkston, who has to try to make up some ground here to get the Bluefins back in it. As the Wave Runners now, Carson Vokey touches the wall. Alex London is in the pool. But it's Neil Hardy here right now with a huge lead here for the Bay Roberts Sea Lions. But again, we've saw big leads disappear in the past. And there's Neil Hardy, touches the wall. Next in for the Sea Lions is Hudson Pilgrim. But the Bluefins have made up some space here as Liam Pinkston works his way down. Caleb Whalen is waiting to get on. And it's Caleb Whalen in the pool. But again, a very strong swim by Hudson Pilgrim has expanded that lead once again for the Sea Lions. And it's Hudson Pilgrim. Now it's just a sound technical swim at this point now for the Sea Lions, as they almost have a full pool length ahead. And there you go. Our final swimmer for the Sea Lions is in, Preston Sims. It's Preston Sims heading down the pool. Caleb Whalen is fighting his way up to the top there to allow Gavin Bennett put on a push, but what a push by Clarenville Wave Runner Hayden Vokey, who's having an outstanding butterfly here. But it's Bay Roberts Sea Lions all the way on this one, as Luke Evans now jumps in the water for the Clarenville Wave Runners. It's Sea Lions first. It looks like it's going to be Bluefin second, Wave Runners third. But again, you finish every lap here because there are many DQs which can sway the tides, literally and figuratively. And it's Bluefin second, Clarenville third. So we get ready now for the girls' 13-14 200-meter medley relay. In lane number 2 is the Bluefins, represented by Cadence Culpepper, Jayla Harris, Georgia Elliott, and Emma Milley. The Marylands in lane 3, represented by Haley Hooper, Regan Walsh, Kristen Norman, and Isabel Spencer. In lane number 4 is the Gators, represented by Allie Hamlin, Jordan Dobson, Chloe Caravan, and Charlotte Bombas. And in lane number 5 is Leah Reed, Ella Ackerman, Olivia French, and Hannah Dawson.
No, she was probably swimming back. Then went back.
Here we go. 4 teams in the water, ready to start. And we have a clean start here, and it looks like it is lane number 2 of the Bluefins now has a slight lead over the Sea Lions, who are in lane number 5. Followed right behind them is the Gators in lane number 4. And Marylands are in lane number 3. But it is the Bluefins in first place now. Right behind them are the Sea Lions. Third place is the Gators. Then it's the Marylands. But the Bluefins have a slight lead. But Leah Reed is not going to give her much space. And the slightest of mistakes, and it looks like it has. And it looks like Leah Reed has basically caught up to the Bluefin. And now it's Ella Ackerman in the water. They move into the breast. And it's Ella Ackerman of the Sea Lions and Jayla Harris of the Bluefins. Followed behind by Jordan Dobson and Regan Walsh. But Ella Ackerman is right there now with Bluefin Jayla Harris. Like I said, as long as two teams are close. And it's Ella Ackerman now. It looks like she's pulled ahead. And has taken a slight advantage ahead of Bluefin Jayla Harris, sorry. And it's Ella Ackerman who touches the wall first as they move into the breaststroke. And the breaststroke is Olivia French for the Bay Robber Sea Lions. Georgia Elliott of the Bluefins. Heated competitors in the singles competition. Battling it out here now. And it's Olivia French who touches the wall first, slightly ahead of Georgia Elliott. And believe me, Olivia French knows this Georgia Elliott she's swimming against. And it's Olivia French trying to hang on to the lead over Georgia Elliott. As we move on to the freestyle part of this race of Hannah Dawson. It's Hannah Dawson and Emma Milley. And it's Sea Lions to the wall first, followed right behind by the Bluefins. Here come the Gators in third of Chloe Caravan getting ready to touch the wall for Shayla Bombas. But Hannah Dawson is flying up the pool now. And Hannah Dawson's going to touch the wall first ahead of Emma Milley. And it's Hannah Dawson took control of the anchor leg of this race to secure the Bay Robber Sea Lions into first place as Emma Milley battled hard to help the Bluefins get to second. And it looks like it's going to be the Grand Falls Windsor Gators and the Charlotte Bombas going to finish third, followed behind by the Marlins of Marystown. But again, DQs, a lot of things can happen here, so every team must finish the race. We've seen teams with big leads get DQ'd because they left the water too early or jumped off the block too early, and there's a lot of adrenaline in these races. It's the Marlins ensuring they finish just in case a team or two may have been DQ'd in front of them. Now we move on to Event 76, boys 13-14, 200-meter medley relay. In lane one is the Gators of Ethan Pitcher, Dawson Poole, Jackson Haggett, Nigel Powell. In lane two is the Bluefins of Ryder Pinkston, Kobe Chapman, Ashton Parsons, and Rylan White. Lane three is the Marlins of Andre Fitzpatrick, William Evans, Evan McGraw, Ethan Pike. Lane number four is the Wave Runners of Michael Hiscock, Caden Ives, Nathan Dean, and John Lynch. And the Sea Lions in lane number five of Austin Morgan, Ashton Hurley, Owen Dyke, and Ben Parsons. Some camaraderie down on the deck as all teams fist pump each other. Here we go. Boys 13-14, 200-meter medley relay. And we have a clean start, and it looks like it is lanes 4, 5, 1, and 2 right now are right in the mix of it. It looks like it's lane number 4. The Wave Runners have a slight lead ahead of both lane 1, the Gators, and the Sea Lions. And it looks like on the turn, it was Austin Morgan with an unbelievable turn for the Sea Lions to take the lead here. Has a slight advantage right now over the Wave Runners. And it's Austin Morgan touching the wall first. In for the Sea Lions now is Ashton Hurley. Right behind them of the Wave Runners is Caden Ives. Followed behind by the Gators of Dawson Poole. In goes the Bluefins now of Kobe Chapman. But it is Ashton Hurley touching the wall first. Giving the Sea Lions a bit more of a cushion here ahead of the Wave Runners. As Caden Ives works to try to keep this race just close right now at this moment. And it's the Grand Falls Windsor Gators now trying to gain some ground on the Wave Runners. As they're in third place, followed by the Bluefins, followed by the Marlins. And it's Ashton Hurley touches the wall now. It's Owen Dyke into the water for the butterfly. Followed right behind him is Nathan Dean of the Wave Runners. Right behind them is the Grantville, is the Gators.
Go, Nathan, go!
There go the Bluefins, but it is Owen Dyke now. Having a very strong butterfly. Help keep that lead for the Sea Lions over the Wave Runners. But the Bluefins now have put on a push to move into second place as it looks like Ashton Parsons is flying up the pool. Can he catch Gator Jackson Haggett? And here we go. Our final leg for the Sea Lions is Ben Parsons. Right behind him is Wave Runner John Lynch. But the Bluefins looks like they've caught the Gators out of nowhere and have moved into third place right now. And here we go. It is Ryland White. It's Ben Parsons cruising to first place for the Sea Lions. It's the Clarenville Wave Runners in second place. But who's going to take third? As the Bluefins and the Gators. And the Gators had a very sizable lead at one point in third place. But again, you have one strong swimmer and one swam heat. It could change the tide, and it did for the Bluefins as the Bluefins move into third place, touching the wall ahead of the Gators. And now it's the Marylands who are going to finish off this race. And we get ready now to move on to the girls' 15-16 200-meter medley relay. In lane number 1 is the Dolphins, made of Eves Penny, Kaylee Tucker, Jada Diamond, and Sarah Young. In lane 2 is the Sea Lions, made up of Marissa Dawson, Bridget Bishop, Julia Dawson, and Kaylee Flynn. In lane number 3 is Wave Runners, made up of Laura Carville, Jocelyn Coates, Leah Wiseman, and Addison Wells. Lane number 4 is the Gators, made up of Janie Linfield, Sarah Campbell, Emma Caravan, and Charlotte Bombas. And in lane number 5 is the Bluefins, made up of Olivia Sparks, Hannah Chapman, Abby Wells, and Caitlin Morgan. This should be a fantastic race, as there's some very strong swimmers on all teams here. Here we go. And we have a clean start, and it looks like it is Marissa Dawson of the Sea Lions. Takes the early lead ahead of lane number 5 of the Bluefins right now. But the Bluefins are right there as well, followed right there by the Wave Runners and the Grantville and the Gators as well. But it's Marissa Dawson has a slight lead now ahead of the Bluefins. And it's Marissa Dawson trying to keep that lead for the Sea Lions as the Bluefins are pushing strong. But right on their tails as well is lanes 3 and 4, the Wave Runners and the Gators, who are battling it out. Followed behind by the St. Anthony Dolphins, and the Sea Lion is in the pool. The Bluefin is in the pool. Now we have the Wave Runners and the Gators are there as well. Who has the stronger breaststroke? And it looks like it is Bay Roberts Sea Lion, Bridget Bishop now, giving the Sea Lions a bit of a cushion over Hannah Chapman and the Bluefins right now. As this Bridget Bishop touches the wall first, Hannah Chapman second. Right behind them in lane number 3 is the Wave Runners in third, followed by the Grand Falls Windsor Gators and the Dolphins. But it's Bridget Bishop trying to hold off the Bluefins to give him a bit of a cushion for Julia Dawson as she jumps in to do her butterfly. And it's going to be Bridget Bishop slightly ahead of Bluefins, and it's Julia Dawson in the water, followed right behind by the Bluefin, and it is Julia Dawson trying to give the Sea Lions a bit of a cushion for the anchor swimmer, Kaylee Flynn of the freestyle. And it's Julia Dawson touches the wall first, ahead of Bluefin, Abby Wells. And it's Julia Dawson in first place here right now, getting ready is Kaylee Flynn on the block. It's Bluefins in second. It looks like it's Wave Runners trying to keep off the Gators for third place, followed by the Dolphins. And as Kaylee Flynn is in the water for the Sea Lions, followed right behind by Bluefins, Caitlin Morgan. But it's Kaylee Flynn flying up the pool here. She's touching the wall first, ahead of Caitlin Morgan and the Bluefins. And now it's a battle for third place here now as it's the Wave Runners hanging on slightly over the Gators. Kaylee Flynn is trying to hang on. The Bluefin is pushing. As Caitlin Morgan is trying to push, but there's not enough pool there, and Kaylee Flynn is going to touch the wall to guide the Sea Lions to victory in the 15-16 200-meter medley relay, followed second by the Bluefins. But now we have a great battle here for third, as it looks like the Gators have overtaken the Wave Runners, and it's going to be the Gators touching the wall third ahead of the Wave Runners, followed behind by the St. Anthony Dolphins. But a great swim there by the Bay Roberts Sea Lions and all four swimmers, as each one did their part to set the next swimmer up. Now we move on to event 78, boys 15-16, 200-meter medley relay. In lane number 2 is the Bay Roberts Sea Lions of Chase Morgan, Noah Dawson, Charlie Seymour, and Jack Hardy. Lane number 3 is the Bluefins of Ashton Parsons, Cameron Saunders, Benjamin Groth, and Hayden Blanchard. And in lane number 4 is the Gators of Ben Lunscombe, Nathan Poole, Philip Wolford, and Wesley Carter. Lanes 2, 3, and 4. And here we go. We have a clean start, and it looks like it is lane number 2, Bay Roberts Sea Lion, Chase Morgan, with his signature swim to backstroke. Strategically placed Chase there to give the team a bit of a lead. And it is Chase touching the wall first, ahead of Ashton Parsons of the Bluefins. And right there is Ben Lunscombe of the Grand Falls Windsor Gators. But Chase gave this team a little bit of space, as Noah Dawson gets ready to enter the pool now, and it's Noah Dawson into the water, followed shortly behind by Bluefin Cameron Saunders. Right next is Nathan Poole of the Gators. And Noah Dawson is powering his way up the pool, trying to keep that lead. Again, your job is to keep the lead of the swimmer for the next swimmer. Here we go, and it's Noah Dawson powering his way up the pool, keeping that about 2-body lead ahead of Bluefin. Cameron Saunders. And it looks like it's going to be Noah Dawson who's going to touch the wall first. Charlie Seymour waits eagerly, and Charlie Seymour is in the pool. Right there now is a Benjamin Groth. It's followed there by Grand Falls Windsor Gator Philip Wolford. But Groth has made up some ground on Charlie. Charlie's trying to hang on now. Groth is a big, strong swimmer. And as Charlie powering his way through, Groth is gaining ground. Groth has gained a lot of ground, and now they're pretty much neck and neck as Hardy is in the pool for the Sea Lions. Blanchard is in the pool for the Bluefins. Hardy is hanging on to the slimmest of leads here right now as they get to the wall for the final 25 meters. They turn. And now they are neck and neck. It looks like Hardy might have the slightest of leads now. Over to Bluefin, Caden Blanchard. But it is extremely close, and it looks like, is it going to be Blanchard? Is it going to be Hardy? And I can't tell. I'll give my biased opinion and say it was the Sea Lions. But I've been wrong on pretty much every prediction I've made here so far. So we're going to move into third place there now is the Gators. But that was an amazing race by two fantastic teams there. Extremely too close to call on that one, and we'll have to wait to see how the timers come back with that one. We move into event 79, girls 17-18, 200-meter medley relay. In lane number 1 is the Bay Roberts Sea Lions of Madeline Akerman, Jessica Mercer, Olivia Dyke, and Hannah Dawson. Lane 2 is the Bluefins of Gabrielle Haas, Sienna Chapman, Lily Saunders, Chelsea Keogh. Lane 3 is the Marlins of Amy Evans, Regan Strang, Grace Bradbury, Sophie McGrath. Lane 4 is the Wave Runners, Laura Carville, Emily Lynch, Jillian Coates, Taylor Giles. Lane number 5 is the Gators of Emma Caravan, Claire Bombas, Leslie Howell, and Jenna Olford. And in lane number 6 is the Dolphins of Maggie Crisby, Kaylee Tucker, Jada Diamond, and Sarah Young. Full slate of swimmers on this one. All 6 lanes. Wish me luck. Put your Sea Lions in lane 1, Bluefins lane 2, Maryland's lane 3, Wave Runners lane 4, Gators lane 5, and Dolphins lane 6. Lane 1 is to the left of your screen. Lane 6 is to your right. And we are off, and it looks like it is the Bay Roberts Sea Lions right now of Madeline Ackerman in first place with a slight lead over Amy Evans of the Marlins. And right there, too, is the Bluefins Gabrielle Has. But it is Madeline Ackerman. Touches the wall first, followed by the Marlins, followed by the Bluefins, the Gators, and the Dolphins. And the Wave Runners are right there as well. And it looks like the Marlins have come on, too, as well. And it looks like Madeline has the slightest of leads. The Sea Lions have the slightest lead over the Marlins, and it's Sea Lions first. Regan Strang of the Marlins in the water second. Jessica Mercer is trying to push ahead there, and it's Jessica Mercer for the Sea Lions. Regan Strang and the Marlins. And it looks like it's the Gators now who are in third place, with Clara Bombas taking charge in the breaststroke. And again, it's the Sea Lions hanging on to the slightest of leads right now, but the turn means a lot, and it looks like we may have had a lead change at the turn, as it looks like Regan may have overtaken Madeline. And the Grand Falls Windsor Gators are coming up now, too. And now it's a 3-way race for first place, as the Gators, the Marlins, and the Sea Lions are here. And it's going to be the Marlins who touch. No, it's going to be the Gators who touch first. The Marlins. Now it's the Sea Lions. Here we go. It's for the Sea Lions. It is Olivia Dyke trying to push through. For the Marlins, it's Grace Bradbury. And it's Grace who's going to touch the wall first now. Right behind is Olivia Dyke, and now it's the Gators. Now we're coming back again. Now we have a very tight 3-way race. It's the Marlins, it's the Sea Lions, it's the Gators. And it looks like it's going to be the Marlins who are going to touch the wall first, moving into the final 50 meters. But this lead is of the slimmest of margins, and she's in the water now. It's the Bay Roberts Sea Lions in the water. Right behind them is the Gators. Now let's see who has the strength and the endurance left in the last 50 meters. As it's Hannah Dawson for the Sea Lions and Sophie McGrath for the Marlins. It's Sophie and Hannah. Here we go. Who's got it? It looks like Hannah may have overtaken the Marlins in the final 15 meters. And here come the Gators who are putting on a strong push. Can they overtake the Marlins? It is the Sea Lions first. Marlins hang on for second. And it's the Gators third, followed by the Bluefins fourth. Wave Runners, then the Dolphins. Here we are, the final event of the day, Event 80, boys 17, 18, 200-meter medley relay. 3 teams, the Bluefins in lane number 2 of Spencer Lilly, Micah Groth, Benjamin Groth, Cameron Saunders. Lane number 3 is the Wave Runners of James Hancock, Lucas Hiscock, Nathan Dean, and Michael Hiscock. And in lane number 4, the Bay Roberts Sea Lions of Chase Morgan, Adam Dawson, Charlie Seymour, and Noah Dawson. Then we have to sit back and wait to see who is Summer Champs 2023. Who takes home the trophy, the banner, and all the bragging rights that go along with it. Will the Sea Lions be having a motorcade, or will we just be having a banquet? And it looks like we are down to 2 teams, actually, which is quite fitting here now, of the Bluefins and the Sea Lions. So here we go. Lily Spencer for the Bluefins. Chase Morgan for the Sea Lions to start this race off. This is Chase's second race of the day. And it's Chase Morgan with a little bit of a lead over Spencer Lily at the moment. Oh, and the Clarenville Wave Runners appeared out of nowhere and is now in the water. Not sure what happened there. They didn't false start for starting too early. It's like they weren't even on the block. Anyway, it is the Bay Robert Sea Lions as Chase Morgan brings a lead into Adam Dawson right now. And it's Adam Dawson. Followed right behind there now is the Bluefin. And Micah Groth is in the water. Big, strong swimmer. And here comes Clarenville. Lucas Hiscock waiting eagerly. They started behind the 8-ball. They have a lot of catching up to do, but it's Adam Dawson keeping the lead for the Sea Lions. But Groth has a very strong back 25. Both of them do. So no lead is safe with the two Groth boys swimming for the Bluefins. And it is Adam. Adam Dawson touches the wall. Charlie Seymour is in the water now, doing the butterfly. Here comes Groth. Ben Groth. And it's Charlie Seymour powering his way up the wall, touches the wall, but Groth has made up some ground. But again, Charlie Seymour knows all too well about Groth and is not going to give him much space. Clarenville doing their best just to stay in this race at the end of the day. And it's Charlie Seymour going to touch the wall for the final leg. And it's Noah Dawson. But Groth made up considerable ground. And now it's Cameron Saunders. Can Cameron Saunders catch Noah Dawson here? There's a lot of pool, but we've seen bigger comebacks. Noah Dawson touches the wall, makes the turn. Great push. Cameron Saunders working hard. But Noah Dawson is just determined to ensure that he brings his Sea Lions home to victory here in the last event of the day. And it's the Bay Robert Sea Lions, first place, followed behind by the Bluefins. And here comes the Wave Runners in third. But a very respectable showing, seeing they were not on the block at the start of this race. Anyway, again, I'd like to thank the town of Gander, all the volunteers, the facility here, all the swimmers, for a job well done. We look forward to seeing everybody again next year. Breaking news here from this Summer Champs Swim 2023 as we are in a swim off. As I try to get my bearings here, I think I don't even have my glasses here now, as it looks like it's the boys 15-16. Looks like it's the boys 15-16 medley relay between the Bay Robber Sea Lions and the Bluefins, as we had a tie. So these 8 swimmers got to do this all again. Tremendous amount of excitement on the deck here. As this is a first for me again. Yesterday, we had a swim off to see 2 girls tied for 6th place. Here we are now with boys 15-16 tie between the Bay Robber Sea Lions and the Springdale Bluefins. Waiting now for the teams to get set up, the judges to get set up. Seems to be a lot of questions on the deck here. A lot of judges talking to each other, a lot of swimmers talking to each other, but I do see 2 teams out on the deck. The Bay Robber Sea Lions and the Springdale Bluefins. And I'm guessing the standings are extremely close. Judges are getting in place, but there's still lots of conversations going on here. We try to figure out who's doing what, but it looks like it's going to be the Bay Robber Sea Lions of Chase Morgan, Noah Dawson, Charlie Seymour, and Jack Hardy going head-to-head with the Bluefins of Ashton Parsons, Cameron Saunders, Benjamin Groth, and Caden Blanchard. Hopefully we get this straightened out soon. The swimmers are there, ready to go. It looks like it's the timers now. We're seeing timers and judges on phones and talking to each other. Looks like there's a lot more swimmers on the deck here, ready to cheer on both teams. This is what it's all about. This is what I love to see. All the swimmers on the deck, encouraging all their swimmers on. The excitement on the deck is going to be electrifying for this race as we see Sea Lions teammates on one end of the pool. Bluefins teammates on one end of the pool. 4 swimmers near the starting blocks, ready to get going. Coaches talking to the players, to the swimmers here. This must be a first here. It's a first in my existence here as the Sea Lions to see 2 teams swim off. 2 teams that battle it out year after year to see who are provincial champs. Will it be the reigning champions, the Bay Robber Sea Lions, or will the Bluefins dethrone the Sea Lions to take home the banner to Springdale? Time judges are trying to get their watches synchronized. Again, people talking to all the swimmers here and giving them words of encouragement. But to see the side of the deck and the back of the deck lined off with swimmers, again, the energy in this building right now is going to be electric as these two teams battle it out. As we wait to see when we'll get this race off the ground. We have a timer giving instructions. Lots of instructions being given to the timers here right now. Lots of encouragement being given to all swimmers. 3 coaches of the Sea Lions are right there speaking to all their swimmers right now. As it looks like we're getting close to starting. And I really hope the word got out here that there is a swim off. Still seems to be a little bit of confusion amongst the timers and the judges on who's going to take what role here. Here we go. It looks like the timers have taken their seats. Looks like we're going to see lanes 3 and 4 used for the epic swim off. Feels like a shootout in hockey. Anyway, everybody hang tight. The minute we get ready to start, I will be letting everybody know. And it looks like we're very close to starting now as Chase Morgan has stood up next to the deck here, anxiously awaiting. Nerves of steel here from the Bay Roberts Sea Lions. Timers are in place. Looks like they're getting their final instructions. As I can imagine, this is going to be an extremely close race again. To see two teams tied is extremely rare. But here we go. Both swimmers have entered the water. Chase Morgan for the Sea Lions. Ben Lunscombe for Ashton Parsons for the Bluefins. Bragging rights on the line here right now. And it's Chase Morgan. And you can hear the screams from the swimmers on the other end of the pool, encouraging teammates on. And it's Chase Morgan who has the lead now over Ashton Parsons of the Bluefins as he touches the wall at the 25-meter mark. Makes the turn, heads back. And this is Ashton Parsons trying to stay close now to keep this race within reach. And it's Chase Morgan who has maybe a body length lead now ahead of Ashton Parsons. And here we go. It's Noah Dawson next in the pool, and it's Noah's in. Followed right behind him is Cameron Saunders of the Bluefins. And it's Noah pushing up the pool in the breaststroke. Cameron, again, trying to just stay there now to make this race close. As they know they got Big Ben Groth there waiting in the wings, who can make up a lot of ground. But Charlie Seymour knows who he's swimming against and knows that he has to give every ounce of energy. And it looks like Cameron has gained a little bit, and it's Noah just hanging on here now, and they are neck and neck once again. And it's Noah Dawson slightly ahead, and it's Charlie Seymour, Ben Groth in the pool. Charlie's pushing ahead. Ben Groth. Here we go. 25. After the 75 meter, here's Charlie, touches the wall just ahead of Ben. It looks like Ben may have taken the lead. And it's Ben now, and it's the Bluefins ahead of Charlie and the Sea Lions. But again, it is extremely close. And it's Groth now who's going to touch the wall. As Groth touches the wall first, it's Caden Blanchard. Let's go, Jack Hardy. And now it's Caden who has a sizable lead here for the Bluefins. Jack Hardy is working hard to try to close the gap. Big turn by the Bluefin. Here comes Hardy. Here comes the Bluefins. Caden is pushing. Jack is trying to catch him. Swimmers are going wall, but it looks like it's going to be the Bluefins with a decisive victory in this swim-off. And it's the Bluefins who take it here. No tie this time around as the Bluefins wanted the bragging rights on the last swim of the day. Now I think I'm done. Good luck, everyone. Safe travels home, and hopefully we'll see everybody again next year.